You're here because somebody said they haven't seen my truck around.
Somebody?
Okay, so is it against the law?
Can I at least finish?
No, sir, because you've already demonstrated to me that you are going to violate my rights by simply asking me for my identification. If you had pulled in and said, hey, what's going on? I live here. I own the property. No problem, sir. Have a good day. Got in your truck and left. Then that would have shown me that you were an officer of standing. The fact that you're asking me for my ID on private property tells me that you don't know the law, because I do. I've been around a long time, man. I'm 43 years old. All right, this is my first rodeo. You have no probable cause to be here, first of all. And even if you did have probable cause, you made contact with me, I've established to you that I'm the property owner, okay? So your probable cause is now solved. You know that I'm the property owner. There's no laws being broken here. There's nothing in violation. You don't see any needles. You don't see any bottles of liquor. I'm not a drunk. So there's obviously I haven't been, well, I'm just going to the point where you can't say that I've been driving around drunk, because I haven't been. Okay, so we've established that what? I own the property.
No, you're stating you own the property. I don't know that.
You don't need to know that. Again,
and you're right.
You don't need to know that.
I don't need to know that.
So my Fourth Amendment rights at the state that you shall not, or that I shall not be subject to unreasonable search, seizures of my personal belongings, papers, or property. So you're asking me for my identification, which includes under the paper part. What is your probable cause for asking me for my paperwork?
Because I don't know that you own this property.
That's not my problem.
And you look like a suspicious person.
Okay, now here's the thing: is being a suspicious person is not against the law.
Every time I start talking, you start.
Well, because you're doing the same old cop stuff. Being a suspicious person is not against the law.
I'm trying to explain the rest.
You're trying to intimidate me.
I'm not intimidating you. I'm just talking to you. I haven't intimidated you.
A suspicious person is not against the law.
This is explaining. There's no intimidation. I'm not yelling at you.
I'm very intimidated. You're on my property. You won't leave.
I'm not leaving until I finish explaining. You're correct.
I don't need you to finish explaining to me. I know the laws. I know that right now you're on private property, which means you are trespassing. You don't need to even know that I'm here. If the property owner had called you and said there's some random dude on my place, then you know what, your presence would definitely be accepted. It would be like, oh shit, I am on somebody else's property. No, I don't own it. But I own this place. Okay? And the MRLS listings, you can go look up my name, probably my ex-wife, my folks. You notice how the property lines, oh, so you got back up, I see. So anyways, I just want to establish this is my place, and right now you are violating my Fourth Amendment right. You don't need to see my ID, and no, you're not going to get my ID. There's no reason for you to have my identification. This is my property, and regardless if the neighbors, unless I'm violating some sort of law that the neighbors have seen, then you're asking me for my identification is violation of my Fourth Amendment right. This is could you guys please get off my property? Gwen, come here. Hey, dude! Gwen, go load up. Go load up. Could you guys please step off my property? Go load up. Put it down. Please, ma'am. No, I'm not trying to be a hard ass, but it's already demonstrated to me what kind of officer he is. I assume that you're an officer of outstanding capabilities and honesty. But could you please step off my property?
As soon as we're done investigating.
What investigating what? This is my property. You're here because a neighbor said they'd seen my truck and that I was suspicious. That is not grounds for you asking me for my identification nor coming here. When he established contact, I affirm that I'm the property owner. Okay. Now, unless I'm under suspicion for not being the property owner, done. Now he's asking me for my identification on my own property, which is a violation of my Fourth Amendment right. Okay. And please, can you step off? This is also a violation.
My boss has said something.
This is my place. You have no authority here. There's no laws being broken. There's no laws saying that someone could be a suspicious person, even if I wanted to be a suspicious person. I have that right to do so. Remember, the address is 2922 Sage Avenue. Fucking cops, really? On my own property? Because some yuppie called and said they were uncomfortable or something? Now they're gonna go sit down the way.